very much for that, Pat. Very interesting presentation. Thank you also, Marge. May we invite your chairman, Jojo Villar, to join us in this Q&A. Now, galing 90% of the cancer therapy equipment, 50% of the dialysis. That really caught my eye, no? Equipment for the Philippines, no? But before I go on to this deeper understanding of the company, sir, kwentuhan nyo nga muna ako. Paano ba nag-umpisa tong kumpanyan to? How did it start? And what is your vision for this company, sir?
Yes, sir, Marvin. Nag-retire ako ng 2008 after 21 years with B. Brown. Ano? It's 21 years. Before that, galing ako Unilever. Mga sabon, shampoo. Tapos lumipat ako sa medical. Hindi ko naman gustong lumipat sa medical. Pinirate ako ng isang German. Third generation Brown. Brown ang apelido nung nag-interview sa akin. Pumunta rito, gusto niya mag-set up ng office sa Pilipinas. So, ginawa niya akong GM. Kala mo mabigat pero 5 lang kami noon. Nag-uumpisa pa lang. So anyway, tinrain nila ako sa abroad. Then, for 21 years, I built up B. Brown. No? And then, it's very familiar. Gustong-gusto ko yung kumpanya. Kaya lang nauntog ako sa pader isang beses. Sabi ko, mukhang yumayaman siya kami, hindi Puro salary increase lang inaabangan natin. So mabait naman siya. Sabi niya, well, another chapter in your life. So suportahan kita. So yung isang division ng B. Brown, yung tinatawag na OPM, Outpatient Market. O ikaw, simulan mo yan. Ikaw mag-distribute niyan. Bait, ano? Ganon kami nagmahala noon. So, and then, that was 2008. I took over a very small company called Medilines. Yung original na may-ari noon, nag-migrate na, no? Excuse me, nag-migrate sa States. I took over the management, and now from 2008 to 2021, I've been running it from close to 7 million pesos, 17 million. Now it's 1.5 billion pesos in sales. So medical na ako ngayon. Marunong na ako magpanggap na Dr. Marvin. Yan ang short summary niyan.
Galing, sir. Galing. Very impressive. And now your daughter is with you to help you out run this business. That's right. Well, let me start by asking you, sir. It is no secret, alam niyo naman, that you are a Villar. And you're the younger brother of former Senator Manny Villar. And it's also not a secret that present ni Pat, no, that 70% of your revenues are coming from the government. Sorry to ask, sir, but people may easily conclude. Kaya naman yata nakakakuha ng government contract sila because of his brother. Ganun ba yun, sir? Can you comment on that, please?
Naantay ko talagang ilabas mo yung tanong na yan dahil...
Yun na yung una kong tinanong.
Lahat yan ang minatanong, nakakabwisit na eh. Anyway, nagsimula nga sabi ko ang Medilines 2002 pa. No? So, I took over 2008. No? Kahit ilang presidente dumaan dyan, kahit sino, Arroyo, sino pa ba? Erap, Gloria, Noynoy, Duterte, tuloy-tuloy ang growth namin. Tuloy-tuloy. Ang ganda ng growth namin. You know why? Number one, 1987 pa lang, labas-masok na. Hindi ka pa siguro pinapanganak, Marvin. Sorry. 1987 pa lang, labas-masok na ako ng ospital. No? Hindi sakitin ako. Doon ako nagbebenta. No? Nakapag-build up ako ng matinding relationships. Nakapag-seed planting ako. Yung ibang chief nurse, na nagsisimula pa lang nurse nung bata ako, ginawa na ako ninong sa kasal, ginawa na ako ninong sa mga anak nila. Gano'n nakatindi ang naging relasyon. Hindi lang ako, pati yung mga managers ko, sila Dan, yung mga GM ko, sila Pat, tinuturuan ko na rin sa field yan. Over the years, relationship counts. Pilipinas ito. No? Sabi nga nung isang taga Cebu, hindi naman yung produktong binebenta mo importante. Ang importante, ikaw ang nagbebenta. Hayop sumipsip, ano? Anyway, number two, we make sure na quality yung binebenta namin. Quality, may pangalan. So, kung ikaw ang doktor, number one sa iyo yung sa atin na lang, huwag kang makamatay, di ba? Huwag kang makapagpatagal ng sakit, no? So, hindi kung sino ang bolero, sino may binigay sa yung maganda, doon ka bibili. Hindi, pipiliin mo yung equipment. That explains kung bakit ang magandang equipment ang taas ng market share. That explains kung bakit yung Varian Linear Accelerator sa buong mundo, 80% radiation oncologists will ask for a Varian Linear Accelerator. Sa Pilipinas, 70% market share ang B. Brown dialysis. The competitor, yung German company din, Fresenius, is 20%. Yung 10% na natitira, yun yung mga China, yung iba-iba, Nikiso, Japan, no? A dialysis patient, a dialysis doctor, 7 out of 10 times will look for B. Brown. Kahit sino rin nagbebenta niyan, hahanapin niya yung sino ba distributor niyan, tawagan nyo. Gusto ko ng B. Brown equipment. Ganon. And then, number 3, mga multinationals kami lahat galing halos, no? Unilever, B. Brown, si Pat, Microsoft, Sara Lee, yung anak ko, yung CFO ko galing sa Jordache, no? Si Dan, dumaan din yan sa B. Brown, kasama ko yun sa B. Brown. So, nakakaintindi kami ng compliance, no? Hindi sa amin pwede yung mga negotiated contract sa may karaoke bar. Yung ganun ba? Ano kami, yung talagang professional, no? Hindi naman kami ganun ka-straight. Marunong rin kaming magpakain paminsan-minsan. Kasama namin ng mga doctor sa medical congresses sa abroad. Yan, ginagawa namin yan. So, in short, Marvin, walang pakialam yung apelido ko eh. Liability nga minsan. Hindi ka makabenta. Lintik ng kapatid ni Villar yun, di ba? Yan lang masasabi ko, anekdota lang. Mas malaking benta ko nung panahon ni Noy Noy.
Oh.
Yes. Yeah. Yan lang. So, yun siguro ang proof ng mga sinabi ko. No? It's the relationship, it's the product, no? It's the professionalism. Yun, no?
Okay. That's great. So, sinabi nyo nga, sir, no? Buti na lang, well, like it or not, Villar kayo, pero ganun talaga. Pero, you're dealing with government, sir. Sinabi mo na you have principals na German multinationals. They have their own corporate governance practices. And you are now listing the company and you will have to follow stricter compliance issues. And at the same time, you're dealing with government. Alam naman natin, sir, di ba? When you deal with government, medyo may kailangan ginagawa dyan na that is not. Probably, I don't know, maybe you want to give us more color on that. How do you balance dealing with very strict compliance of multinationals as well as listing rules natin sa Philippines and dealing with government? How do you balance that now, sir?
Well, hindi naman lahat sa government yung nasa isip natin, ano? Meron diyang mga, sabi nga nung isa sa Davao, yung naglagay sa akin, binlocklist ko. May mga professionals talaga. At diyan ka bibilib eh. Hindi naman lahat nakukuha sa alam mo na. No? At kami naman, mga galing multinationals, tagal na namin nagbebenta at pumipirma kami ng compliance contracts. Kasama sa contract namin yan with the principals. Happy naman sila. Nire-renew nila lagi ang aming contract. No? And from the government side, merong batas tayo, yung Procurement Act, yung RA 9184. Guided lahat yan. Hindi ka pwedeng lumusot dyan. Meron dyang net financial contracting capacity. Doon pa lang kailangan pumasa ka na yan. Merong single largest completed project na tinapos mo. Ang dami requirements. Hindi ka pwedeng palakasan eh. Doon pa lang sa requirements. Wala pa yung bidding price Wala pa yung bid price. Wala pa yung strategy mo doon. Completion pa lang ng mga eligibility. Labanan na ng lawyer yan sa mga bids meetings. Yung RA 9184 na yung Procurement Act, binabantayan yung mga sumo-shortcut. No? Ang masasabi ko lang, Marvin, na sumo-shortcut sa bentahan, yung mga negotiated contracts. Yung mga napanood nyo sa TV, negotiated lahat yun eh. Yung mga napapanood nyo sa TV ngayon, madalian yun, COVID-19 yun, walang bidding yun, negotiated yun. Yun, doon nagkagulo. Kami, dumadaan kami. Wala pa kaming bidding na dinaanan na negotiated. Puro kami dumaan sa legitimate bidding.
Sir, so itong dealing nyo with Department of Health, di ba? Alam naman natin, Department of Health. Hindi to negotiated. These are the usual projects that you have in explain nyo ngayon.
Arm's length. Arm's length.
We always go through the proper procurement processes, which would be public tenders. So it's very transparent. You can see the requirements, the prices, the specifications, they're all posted in the web. It's very transparent. And also, if I may add to what Mr. Villar was saying a while ago, hindi naman kahit sino-sino lang pwedeng magbenta ng linear accelerator. Hindi naman kahit sino-sino lang pwedeng magbenta ng dialysis machines and MRIs. Kasi these are high technology, very specialized equipment, and we carry the top brands. So hinahanap talaga siya even before we push them. Siguro nakikita ng mga doctors in other countries or in reference hospitals na, uy, ito yung ginagamit nila, or dito ako tinrain, dito ako sinanay, ito yung gusto ko, magandang brand, trusted sila. Hindi pa kami pumupunta, wala pa kami sa equation, hinahanap na sila. And then you combine that with the fact that Medilines has been working on the same categories, especially dialysis, for years. Since Foundation Day namin, 2002, dialysis na yung carry namin. Since 2016, we've been distributing cancer therapy equipment from Varian, and we're also distributing mga diagnostic imaging equipment. So, because these are leading brands and these are high-tech equipment, we have armed our sales and marketing to be able to market them properly. Na yung relationship, ano na lang yun, parang ano na lang siya, pang seal ng deal, pero hindi talaga yun yung unang kailangan. If you know what I mean.
Galing,
so that's what I wanted to explain.
Marvin, meron pa akong gusto sabihin. Tapos ka na, Pat?
Marami
na kaming DQ.
Ano yun?
Marami kaming DQ, maniwala ka.
I
can give you so many times na na-DQ kami. Kahit Villar pa apelido ko. Okay. At yung ikalawa kong gustong sabihin, Marvin, pagka talagang wala nang magawa at kailangan talagang gawin yon, kung ano man yung gagawin na yon, gumagamit kami sub-dealers. Yon. Ikaw na lang makipag-usap doon sa kanila. Hati tayo sa margin. Bentahan kita. Bahala ka na sa mga kausap doon. Hindi kami anghel sabi ko Pero compliant pa rin.
Yeah. Okay. Further to this point, sir. Alam naman natin, election na next year, di ba? Itong mga kakilala nyo, this relationships that you have built so many years, pwede na mapalitan Kasi nga, di ba sir, di ba, election, napapalitan ng mga posisyon. How do you handle that? Kasi sinabi nyo na iba-iba na kayo ng administration How do you handle that? Kasi yung contracts nyo, sinasabi, you presented earlier na parang you're a distributor, authorized distributor, hindi siya exclusive, parang yearly lang yung kanyang renewal. How do you handle this risk or how do you bring up this barrier to entry against other competitors na may kakilala na sa government tapos biglang bakuha yung project? Paano yun, sir?
Hindi nga Marvin, connect. May procurement act Pagka bidding conference, may abogado yung kalaban, may abogado rin kami. So, hindi makuha sa connect. Tapos yung sa atin na lang to, hindi ako masyadong nakikipr sa pinakamataas. Kasi yung mga nasa baba, yun ang importante, yun ang dapat mo alagaan. Dahil kahit sino presidente, sila pa rin. Ang medical director ng isang ospital, siya pa rin. Kahit palitan yung director doon, ang presidente. Pagka nakipag-usap ka sa taas, mapapamahal ka lang. yun ang sinasabi nila lagi. Joke lang yung bandang.
Sir, sa atin na lang to ng mga 400 na nakikinig sa atin.
439 Joke lang. Yung bandang huli.
Yes. Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you for clarifying that. Kasi mahirap sa talaga, I mean, dealing with government, with Alam natin yun, sir. Kaya I tried to stress that point. I tried to understand ano ba talaga yan. Now, maybe I will ask also Pat about, kasi nga, the relationship has been built by your father, no? For so many years with your suppliers and with the buyers, no? How are you transitioning this to you? Yung parang maintindihan naman, sorry, si sir naman hindi na bumabata, di ba? So, if you want to understand, paano ba yung transition? Paano yung succession? Sige.
Siyempre, point of view ko lang to, di ba? Ako kasi, management talaga yung background ko ever since. So, from college, that's my course. And then, I took MBA. And then, in personality ko, kaya talagang, OC, coordinated dapat lahat, management, maayos. So, yun ang ginagawa ko ngayon. Kasi, syempre, this whole IPO experience is also really exciting thing for the whole of the company. Kasi talagang, every now and then, di ba, maraming mga due diligence process yan. Ang dami naming dinaanan na tinignan lahat ng document to make sure that everything is smooth and covered and, properly documented, etc., etc. So talagang parang nag-management course yung buong company namin because of the IPO experience. And for sure, because of this, we will be able to really put more structure to it, professionalize it, and then it will continue to grow from there. So I feel like yun yung role ko. Siyempre si Mr. Villar has the vision. He knows where to direct it, how to grow it, and then ako yung okay. This is our options. These are alternatives. This is the best route to do it. This is how we build the structure. We become ready with our logistics and all of our resources. Yun yung role ko for now.
Great.
Paano naman yan, Marvin?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Nung pa-resign na ako, magtatayo na ako ng negosyo ko. Ang lagi ko sinasabi sa mga customers, pagka negosyo ko na, bahala na kayo sa akin, alagaan niyo ako. Ganun, Ikaw pa, mga ganyan ang sagot nila, di ba? Dahil sa relationship. So ngayong promoted the president na tong anak ko, ganun na rin ang binubulong ko. Pare, pag anak ko na, walang yaka, huwag mong iwanan ng Medilines. Ikaw pa, sagot, tagal natin nagsama. Ganun ang power ng seed planting at long-term relationship, maniwala ka. Ganun ang power nun.
Especially pag sinanay mo na sila na ginagamit-gamit yung brand mo. Or kausap ka for mga after-sale service or yung mga, yung mga networking, ayan. Siyempre, hindi ka na nila makakalimutan in that regard. Diba?
Great. So, ito naman, di ba, sir, or Pat, no? Your business is really into high-value products, no? Very specialized. And we know naman, technology changes. And overnight, probably, cancer treatment can be done in a different way. You mentioned that you're going into these consumables. How are you handling this risk of all of a sudden biglang mag-change ang technology? How are you coping with that?
Marvin, yun ang maganda sa distributor.
Mm-hmm.
Kung anong latest offering, yun ang i-distribute namin.
Okay.
Kung may bagong technology, may bagong equipment, yun ang i-distribute namin. Mm-hmm. Tsaka parang kotse ang medical equipment, kahit na good for 10 years yan, kung talaga maingat ka, may mga bagong software, may mga upgrading, may mga bagong technology na lumalabas. For example, yung X-ray, parang cellphone yan, analog dati. Ngayon, mag-analog ka, pagtatawanan ka, naka-digital na lahat, di ba? So, tiklop lahat ng analog X-ray. Stabil lahat yan, kahit 3 years old pa lang yan. Papalitan niya ng digital, no? And who knows what will happen after 3 years. Papalitan din yung mga digital na yan. Para Samsung, tsaka yung iPhone. Kahit na bago pa yung makina mo, every year, pumipila ka pagbili.
Yeah.
But in terms of our categories, especially Siemens, B. Brown, they are the leading brands, diba? And they have very extensive R&D facilities and processes, infrastructures in place. So sila mismo, nag-update sa amin on anything that's new technology, new practices in their own categories. But of course, because we're a distributor, as Mr. Villar said, we can always go beyond the categories that we already participate in. So that's why, for example, every year, we go to mga medical congresses, diba? Check out all of the new companies, up and rising companies from all over the world. Doon kami nagko-quote and quote shopping kung ano ba yung mas next na pwedeng pakinabangan ng Philippines, diba? So yun. So it's not just when we do our, what do you call that, yung shopping namin or yung mga research namin, we don't just look at our categories. So of course, we also look at what's happening in the total healthcare industry.
Great. Sige. Let me ask naman si Marge. Nandito pa si Marge, ating finance CFO. Na-mention kanina that it can go as long as 6 months ang collection natin with the government. And how do you handle this? Tama ba? How long is the financing cycle more or less of your products? And how do you manage that gap? Especially itong delays in collection in government.
Let me correct lang before Marge answers. Hindi naman lahat ng equipment namin ganun katagal. I explain ni Ms. Marge.
Sige.
Okay. Yung for Linac machines, yun yung pinakita doon sa presentation na 60 days ang ordering. Then 180 days yung from delivery, installation, commissioning, and acceptance. Then another 60 days from acceptance to collection. Kasi merong upon from acceptance, ini-inspect pa yan ng DFA. ng FDA, I'm sorry, ng mga taga yung kailangan kasi issuean kami ng certificate dahil may radiation siya ng PNRI, and then after nun tsaka kami i-issuehan ng certification after inspection. So ayun yung mga for Linac. And then for diagnostic imaging, mas less siya kasi again 60 days yung ordering, and then 1 month naman yung delivery, installation, and acceptance ng customer. And then for dialysis machines, yun nga, tag and pay lang, delivery hanggang max na yung 30 days for that.
And then you can collect right away. Pwede naman. Hindi naman na 6 months.
30 days naman pagka
30 days,
dialysis.
Okay. Sige.
Pag nadagdagan pa yan ng consumables, lalong mas mabilis pa yan in totality. That's why we want that to be our growth focus.
30 days din yun, after delivery.
Yeah. But in case may gap, of course, we do short-term loans with our partner banks. Yun naman doon kami nagbe-bridge ng gap. And also for the big ticket projects, ayan, from the learnings of that we have from the construction business of our tito, we learned how to do milestone collection, progress billing. Hindi yung tatapusin yung buong 150 million, tsaka mo palang makukuha yung bayad, di ba? So parang construction, progress billing na yung naituro namin. So mag-i-improve na talaga yung collection process din namin.
So Marvin, starting last year, naturuan na namin sila. Yung linear accelerator pinag-initan namin kasi 180 days minimum yon. To yung latest na sinara namin sa PGH, binigyan kami ng 555 days to complete. Kasama kasi yung decommissioning ng luma. Napaka-sensitive nun dahil nuclear . So anyway, tinuruan namin sila ng progress billing. At luckily, ang awa na sila sa amin sa tagal baka collect. Ito na, 25% bayad na kami pagka-deliver pa lang namin. 25% pag ini-install na namin. At ite-train na namin sila. The third 25% pagka-issuance ng Certificate of Compliance at approval ng FDA. And the 425%, pag pwede na lang gamitin at meron na silang license to operate, nagaling din sa FDA. Dati 100% lang yan sa last milestone. So ngayon, ang laking ginawa. Ganyan na ngayon ang payment terms namin.
Okay, that's an excellent point, sir. So, Glenn, so mabuti na may progress billing na. Now, at this point, let's go to the questions naman na pinadala ng mga participants natin. We group them together so that it's easier to answer. Let's go through it one by one. Bilisan na lang natin so that we can answer a lot more questions. Pati dito sa Zoom Q&A tab. So number one, asked by Jennifer, Medilines was founded in 2002. What are the reasons for the timing of the IPO now? Is Medilines Filipino-owned, purely Filipino-owned? O bakit daw ngayon, sir, ang IPO nyo?
Okay, ganito yan. Wala kaming kabalak-balak mag-IPO. No? Kaya lang, nung nag-COVID-19, nagsimula yung lockdown, stay at home, work from home. Manood tayo ng television, puro healthcare ang usapan, puro RT-PCR, puro remdesivir. Lahat ng tao, puro health ang pinag-uusapan. Lahat ng matasang posisyon, puro we should give focus on healthcare, puro sila ganyan. So, nasa sweet spot kami, Marvin. Nasa sweet spot kami. We have experience, we have track record, we have good match principles. In demand yung equipment namin, lalo nang na-highlight nung nagka-COVID yung mga X-ray tsaka dialysis machines at CT scans. And then kitang-kita namin na malaki yung merkado ng consumables dahil yung dialysis nga, one dialysis session will require at least 20 dialysis consumable items. Nasa sweet spot kami. So, why not? Sabi namin, ang buong attention ng buong mundo nasa healthcare. Mukhang this is the industry of now and of the future. Ayaw man nating maulit itong pandemic na ito na patapos na. Yun ang sinasabi nila Bill Gates lagi. Wait for the next pandemic. So, kailangan maganda. Yung budget hearing ng gobyerno ng kahit anong country, taasan ng budget ng healthcare, taasan ng budget ng mga equipment, i-modernize yung ating hospitals. Aba, sali kami dyan. Game na tayo. We need capital. Mag-IPO tayo.
Right. Great. So, connected din to sa tinanong nitong susunod, no? Si Joseph Rainier. With or without COVID naman, how would you encourage investors, especially the retail investor, to invest in healthcare industry? How will you encourage them?
If I may answer this question. The healthcare industry has been growing with or without COVID, right? So I just wanted to correct the notion na it's because of COVID na tumaas yung demand for healthcare here in the Philippines. That's not it. We've been growing, and actually the driver for that is number one, our growing population. Number two, our growing aging population. Number three, the programs in place that we need to improve our healthcare facilities kasi we have so much room to grow compared to our ASEAN neighbors, our peers, especially if you compare it with US and Europe, no? And then, ano pa ba? So actually, yun yung growth drivers, and then the incidences of diseases now, especially for the Philippines, are geared toward cancer, diabetes, kidney diseases. So because of these incidences growing, the need for healthcare, specifically in the Philippines, is also growing. So how would I encourage the investors? Healthcare industry in the Philippines has so much room to grow. Really so much. In terms of healthcare expenditure per capita, for example, compared lang to ASEAN, Singapore has 150,000 pesos per capita of healthcare expenditure. Malaysia, around 25,000 pesos per capita expenditure. Philippines is just 7,000 pesos per capita. We really have so much room to improve and to grow. So it's very exciting to be part of the healthcare industry as investors, but also may social impact kasi siya eh. Yung the fact that you know that investing in healthcare would also mean growing this industry and also helping our fellow Filipinos and also providing them quality equipment. Yun yung exciting. So
great. Yeah, healthcare. Kailangan talaga we're sorely
yes,
lacking healthcare So next group, I hope we were able to answer your question. On the business outlook, question by Patrick. What can we expect from the company performance beyond the pandemic, which has been driving increased demand on healthcare product? I think, Pat, na more or less nasagot mo na rin to, no?
Yes.
And then, ito, kay Jeffrey Roy, 5 years vision, considering the public's lives may transition into a normal state. Jojo, maybe?
Yeah, we will still grow sustainably, if there's such a word, ano. Pag wala ng pandemic, balik na kami sa normal na business namin. Ang mga nagpapadialyze, sad to say, pag huminto sila ng dialysis, dalawa lang choices nila, magpa-transplant or they just leave Earth. They just die, no? And then cancer, nakita nyo sa listahan ng top 10 morbidities natin, number 4 siya. So, under normal state, dire-diretso pa rin ang benta ng linear accelerator. Sa first world, ang norm is 1 linear accelerator per 1 million population. And we only have 31 so far. So we need 110. Pero hindi tayo first world. Maybe ilagay mo sa 75 or 80. Ang laki pa ng market ng linear accelerators. Diyos ko, 180 million.
Sir, maano kita? Ma-clarify ko lang yung linear. Hindi kami mga doktor eh. Hindi natin alam. Ano ba yung linear accelerator na yan? What does it mean to cure cancer? Does it cure cancer?
Yeah, okay. Ganito yan ha. Hindi ako doktor kaya medyo pag may doktor sa inyo medyo correct nyo ako. Anyway, ganito yan. Kung may cancer ka, ang doktor ang kanyang choices, number 1, surgery, tatanggalin niya yung tumor, no? Number 2, kukunin niya sa drugs, sa gamot, that is chemotherapy. Ang disadvantage sa chemotherapy is nangihina ka, nalalagas buhok mo kasi pati yung hindi cancer cells napapatay niya, na yan ang disadvantage ng chemotherapy. Itong linear accelerator, ito ay isang makina na parang x-ray, no? Iraradiate sa iyo yung pampatay ng cancer cells lang. Precision to, precision. Hindi niya papatayin yung hindi cancer cells. It will take at least 30 minutes, 45 minutes to 1 hour para ipwesto ka lang, para puntiryahin to the last millimeter yung cancer cell para walang lumagpas na radiation, para ang mapatay niya lang yung cancer cells. Now, so may spare yung good cells. So hindi ka manghihina. Outpatient ito. Punta ka 9 o'clock, kung naka-schedule ka, 10:30, labas ka na ng ospital, punta ka Shumart, o sundin mo na yung anak mo sa school. Pero that doesn't mean, Marvin, na gumaling ka na. Babalik at babalik ka and hopefully mag-i-improve ang state of cancer mo. That is the latest technology sa cancer. And I would like to qualify na hindi lahat ng cancer ginagamitan ng linear accelerator. And also na hindi lahat ng doktor ay komportableng gumamit ng linear accelerator. No? Kasi this is a very high-tech equipment, baka hindi nila inabutan o baka masanay sila sa chemotherapy. Yon ang linear accelerator. Ang shortcut namin dyan, LINAC.
LINAC. And you control 90% of that in the market. Yan na yung latest ngayon, sir. Yan ang latest technology ng cancer treatment ngayon.
I think so. Gamit na gamit ito sa breast cancer, which unfortunately is the most common cancer sa Pilipinas. 90% because there are only two very variant is very strong, and there is only one other competitor, which is Swedish. Yun yung Elekta. Between the two of them, worldwide, siguro 80 to 90% is Varian at poor second yung Elekta. Merong bago ngayon Korean pero wala pang masyadong installation.
So globally yan na rin na ginagamit ngayon, 80 to 90%. Yung linear accelerator nyo, yung Varian na yan.
Yes. In fact, merong isang tycoon sa India, may cancer yung nanay niya, namatay. So, inubos niya, hindi naman inubos. Nag-donate siya more than ng 100 linear accelerator sa Varian.
Wow.
To be distributed sa mga India, sa mga regions ng India.
And for the Philippines, sir, for the Philippines, kaunti lang ang linear accelerator natin ngayon? Or...
Over the years, nagsimula lang naman kami mag-distribute yan 5 years ago or 6 years ago. Before us, nagdi-distribute ng Siemens. No? Siemens ang distributor ng Varian. Ngayon, binili ng Siemens yung Varian, so isa na lang yan. So, 31 ang count nila so far. May konting Electa, and then mga 90% Varian ang brand. We have 31. We should be proud. We have this equipment.
31. Ilan ba kailangan natin, sir?
Yun nga, kung gusto natin mag first world, 1 for every 1 million population. So we need 110. Hindi naman natin kailangan yun dahil second world, third world tayo. Tsaka mahal eh. Mahal to, Marvin. Tama na yung merong isa o dalawa sa isang region siguro. As of now.
Okay. Ay, mahirap pag-usapan itong sakit, sir.
Mahirap pa. Pasensya na kayo, galing tayo sa whole day. Kapatid ko whole day, madali lang eh. Ito.
Okay. Let's look at the second group. Let's look at the business strategy naman. Tanong ni Dex, how is the current global inflationary environment on logistics and gas costs going to affect the company? Increasing cost kasi ito globally. So, does it affect your prices, your margins? Who can answer this?
Eventually it will. Hindi kami ang nag-i-import, Marvin? Ang Siemens ang nag-i-import ng linear accelerator tsaka ng mga equipment na ito. Ang B. Brown, sila rin nag-i-import ng equipment nila tsaka ng consumables. Bumibili kami sa kanila locally.
Oh.
So yung supply chain challenges, including the inflationary effect, sa kanila tama niyan. Now, kung papasa nila sa amin, well, it's not only in our industry, we're already expecting that. Tataas yung mga yan.
Yeah. So then you will have to adjust your pricing accordingly.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah. Okay.
For sure naman, even our competitors will also be adjusting their prices kasi more than 90% of medical devices in the Philippines are imported eh. Halos 100% actually kasi wala naman tayong manufacturing plant of those specialized medical devices, diba? So we import most of these. So we're also confident that if we have to adjust our price, our competitors will also adjust their price.
Okay. Next group, meron pa tayong mga tanong so we can have more. Tanong ni Ray, who are Medilines main competitors, if any, and what is your competitive advantage? Isa lang, sinabi nyo? Maliit lang.
Sa linear accelerator, Electa ang kalaban ng Varian internationally. Ang distributor ng Electa sa Pilipinas is IDS, Hong Kong Multinational yan. Kami 100% Pilipino, kami ang nagdi-distribute ng Varian. Dalawa lang yan. Sa dialysis, B. Brown ang hawak namin. Kami ang dominant distributor nila. Ang kalaban nila Fresenius. Then sa diagnostic imaging, kaya maliit lang ang market share namin dyan, 18%. Nandyan yung matitinik eh. Nandyan yung GE, nandyan ang Philips, nandyan ang Fuji, nandyan ang Toshiba, Shimatsu, mga Canon, yan, matitindi mga kalaban dyan. So it's a very competitive market dyan sa diagnostic imaging.
That's right.
But to mention, because we're distributors, mahirap mag-pinpoint ng isang competition lang eh. Yung talagang apples to apples kami. Because as distributors, you can choose which categories of medical devices you want to carry. So there's not one other distributor that just like us carries specifically dialysis, cancer, and diagnostic imaging lang, di ba? Ang dami-dami pang ibang mga categories in healthcare. Yung ibang distributors, halo-halo yan with other categories. So it's really difficult to pinpoint exactly apples to apples isang competitor. It's very competitive and very fragmented yung market. So yun. Pero yung mga na-mention ni Mr. Villar, yun na siguro yung mga pinakamalaki sa mga categories namin.
IDS tsaka Medilines ang dalawang malaki.
Okay, next item, dividends. Nagbigay ba kayo ng dividends? Ito, tanong ni Ruben. And what is the dividend policy? Tanong ni Jeffrey.
Well, nilagay na namin sa prospectus yan. Ang dividend policy namin is 10 to 30% of prior year's net income after tax. Yan ang aming magiging policy. And of course, ang first dividend, pag-uusapan niya sa 2022. No? Yun ang sagot ko, Marvin.
Right. So, okay, sige. So, may dividend tayo. Aasahan next year. Kasi maganda na income nyo this year, di ba? Ni-report kanina.
Medyo.
Yes. Okay.
Humble lang konti.
Humble. Next group, tanong ng mga tao. Tanong ni Julius, what are the key upside and downside points that you see in the Philippine pure play healthcare market today? So, siguro ano yung risks ng sa healthcare?
Pat, gusto mo umpisahan? Dahil hindi ko makita.
I want to start with the upside. We've been saying it because it's the upside is really that the healthcare industry in the Philippines is in its growth phase. And that health and healthcare right now is the focus of the whole world, not just of the Philippines. And we think it's going to continue to be the focus in the years to come. Having said that, at this time, the downside, like other industries, I guess would be liquidity risks. Pero that's experienced right now with a lot of other industries, not just the medical industry in particular. Importante talaga ngayon ang liquidity. Liquidity
meaning funding the equipment itself? Is that what you mean?
Yes, also and making sure that you have cash flow, na hindi nakatali yung pera mo.
Okay. Yeah. But that's handled by the banks now.
Yeah.
Yan na nga.
Next, meron pa ba tayo? IPO proceeds. I think you already explained this, Pat? That
yes.
To pay loans and to increase your
working capital.
Sige. Meron pa kasi tayong mga live questions, so binamadali ko lang to. Last, meron pa ba? Meron pa ba tayo last group, ladies? Meron pa ba? Wala na yata. Sige. Now, let's get the live Q&A. Sir, konting panahon pa. I know it's already 5 o'clock. Pat, maybe...
Okay lang.
Let's get some live questions from Zoom. Investors are concerned about the secondary share that compose 1/3 of the primary share. Sir, ito yung ibebenta nyo daw na secondary share. Can you enlighten the investors? Tanong ni Rafael.
Okay. Maganda yan. At the end of the IPO, I will still own 70%, no? Well, ewan ko kung may karapatan ako i-compare ang sarili ko rito. Si Elon Musk nga, 17% na lang siya. Ng Tesla. Si Jeff Bezos ng Amazon, it's down to 10%. Now, why are they doing this at bakit ko sila gustong gayahin? They're doing this so para makapasok yung mga institutions na tutulong sa kanila mag-raise ng funds, na tutulong sa kanila ng mga bagong technology, kung paano mga bagong businesses, no? Binasa ko to sa Bloomberg, yung talaga reasons nila. Now, specifically for Medilines, looking at our strategies for growth and incorporating them with our projections, the result was that we needed to raise around 1.2 billion, no? Pencil pushing namin ito to bring the company to its potential. Now, we wanted to be prudent financially and to look at internally generated cash plus some short-term borrowings moving forward to fund growth. We don't want to just have excess money without plans na kung ano-ano na lang bibilin, kung ano-ano iisipin recklessly. We want to optimize every single peso na papasok. The secondary share sale is primarily to provide also, and most importantly, most importantly, to provide liquidity to the stock, bringing our flow to 30% from the minimum requirement by PSE na 20% lang. So every time you want to sell, there will be a buyer. Every time you want to buy, there will be a seller. As contrasted doon sa mga inipit na konting-konti lang na naka-float, no? Na ang tagal-tagal mo hindi ka makabenta o hindi ka makabili. We wanted to provide also additional opportunities to the public. Can you imagine ang available allocation kung 20% lang ito, Marvin? So, dinagdagan namin ng 10% to add liquidity. So, and because we want more investors to join us in this first pure play publicly listed medical equipment company. That's all I can say. Merong negative ang tingin dyan, pero kami puro positive ang tingin namin dito sa secondary offering na to.
Good. So bakit nga ba sir 1.2 billion lang ang nire-raise nyo?
May formula kasi din. We cannot, qualitatively, we do not want to ask for more than we can absorb, no? Yung absorptive capacity namin. Kasi meron na kaming savings sa interest pag nagbayad kami ng mga loans namin. Then, ang laki ng account receivables namin na makukolekta rin namin. These are internally generated funds. So, pagpasok nitong IPO proceeds, we are very confident. Meron pang pang-apat. We have very healthy relationship with banks. So, pagpasok ng IPO proceeds namin, we don't need more as of now. Masama yung sobrang yung mo tapos kulang ang plano.
Not biting more than you can chew.
Yes, galing ni Marvin, galing.
Galing. Next question. Ano pa tayong next question dyan? Kuha pa tayo ng mga live questions. What is your plan po to secure exclusivity for the brands you sell? From Ronnie. Sir, hindi yata exclusive ang inyong arrangement with your brands.
Pat, can you answer this please?
Yeah, so because they're multinational companies, madalang na ngayon yung multinational companies because of their compliance, mga policies, to issue exclusivity contracts. No, most of the distributors here in the Philippines, including our competitors, were only issued authorized distributorship that gets renewed. So our plan naman has been what we've been doing all along, because B. Brown, since 2002 pa namin sila principal and we've renewed partnerships with them ever since, diba? Magta 20 years na kaming partners with them. Siemens naman and Varian since 2016. This is our third time renewing our partnership kasi yung contract namin with Siemens is not a yearly renewal thing. Doesn't make sense because the equipment are very big. The project can be completed after 6 months pa for some of the projects. So it doesn't make sense to renew it every year. So yung contract namin with Siemens is every 3 to 5 years, and we've been renewing it since 2016. So we just continue what we do. They like us because for Siemens, for example, we are 80% of their distributor business. For Varian, we are 90 to 100% of their distributor business. For B. Brown, we are 70% of their distributor business. So as long as we do well, and as long as the partnership with them is a win-win situation, kasi syempre, hindi lang naman sila yung pipili sa amin, kami rin naman yung pumipili sa kanila. So as long as the partnership is a win-win, then we'll continue to be partners for as long as it takes, diba?
Pagka ganun, Marvin, pagka ganun ang contribution sa'yo ng distributor mo, ikaw principal, hindi mo nabibitawan yung distributor mo.
Yeah, tama. Next question. We have a little bit more. Next question from the live audience. If Medic is just a distributor and almost saturated the market, what are your strategies for growth aside from diagnostics market? From Homer. So para bang kung masasaturate nyo na, what are your other strategies daw?
It's always a function of population. 6% ng population natin is seniors. Ito yung mga may comorbidities, and we are 110 million Filipinos. So we have 6.6 na mga seniors na may comorbidities. Ito yung pinakamalaking probability dun sa top 10 na prevalent diseases. So, and then every year nadadagdagan ito. And then napakalaki din ng population natin ng mga hindi seniors. Now, why am I saying this? Hanggat dumadami mga tao, dumadami nagkakadiabetes, hanggat kumakain kayo ng kanin at umiinom kayo ng Coke, excuse me sa mga soft drinks, asukal yan eh. So, candidate kayo sa diabetes. Ang graduation ng diabetes is dialysis. So, konting hinay sa kanin, saka sa soft drinks. Hanggat yung lifestyle natin, hindi natin change, cancer will still be there. Hindi ko naman gusto mangyari to. I don't want these machines to be used kahit sino sa atin, pero it's there. It's really happening. All we have to do is to prepare with our equipment. Now, dun sa cancer, I give you an example. Yung Toronto General Hospital has 10 linear accelerators. No? That's just one hospital. Dito yung number 1 cancer hospital natin, yung Lung Center for Cancer of the Lungs. Dito sa Quezon City, 2 na linear accelerator nila, and now we are discussing the third LINAC. Itong PGH, 2 na rin ang linear accelerator nila, and we are discussing the third one. Yung Southern Philippines, the biggest hospital in Davao, 2 na linear accelerators nila, and we're working on the third one. Yun ang sinasabi ko, natalo kami sa last bidding. What I mean to say is, they don't stop at one equipment lang dahil dumadami ang pasyente, dumadami ang tao. They are now discussing the second CT scan. The hospitals are now discussing the second MRI. Gusto nila may portable X-ray sila kada floor. They're now discussing the second linear accelerator. That's why I say it's always a function of population. Now, on top of this...
Also, sige, Mr. Villar.
Sige, Pat.
Yeah, I don't believe that the market is almost saturated. Coming from what Mr. Villar said, that the population is growing, the incidences of these diseases are growing because hospitals need to expand to cater to more population. Hospitals are being built and constructed, not just in Manila, but also we especially need outside Manila more hospitals and facilities, diba? There are programs in place for the expansion, modernization of existing hospitals. So I don't believe marami pa nga tayong kailangan gawin sa healthcare to improve our facilities, so it's all saturated. But in terms of strategies for growth, aside from our category, there are other categories. Within our category, we're only focusing on machines right now. That's why we want to go into consumables. So there's really still a lot of alternatives and options for growth for the company.
Nasa tatlong sakit lang kami, cancer, sakit sa kidney, tsaka sa yung imaging, diagnostic imaging, sinisilip ko ano yung sakit nyo. Ang dami pa, pwede naming kalabanin si Belo. Joke lang yun. Dami pang fields ng medicine, maniwala.
Yeah, next, kunan pa tayo ng ibang, siguro mga dalawa pang tanong, sir.
Okay.
Pwede pa. How big is the exposure of the dialysis equipment business to clinics that have difficulties in collecting from Philhealth? Also, since 2020 had lower dialysis use, how did the company manage expiring consumables? By Julia.
Okay, so far, ang arrangement namin sa B. Brown is we take care of the government accounts. Sila sa private. Although may mga problematic private accounts na pinapasa nila sa amin. Ang nagkaroon ng difficulties in collection from Philhealth, yung private. Kaya nagkakaproblema yung B. Brown dahil they directly service itong mga hospitals na to. Kami, every time we bid, every time may bidding sa dialysis requirements ng government hospitals, it's funded. Mayroon niyang tinatawag na funds available by law. They cannot do biddings ng walang pondo.
So you don't participate kung walang budget na.
Pag nag-bid, may budget talaga yung by law. They cannot float a bidding ng walang budget.
That's ano against... sir, yung mga expiring consumables na to?
How did the company manage?
2020, we just really started with the consumables business. So hindi pa siya ganun kalaki, no, na ma-expire kami. So hindi naman namin pa na-experience.
Yeah.
Maliit pa lang.
Tinutulungan tayo ng B. Brown dyan, di ba? Nag-digit lang tayo kung ano kailangan natin, yun lang dinadala sa atin.
Sige. Let's get siguro a couple more. What's next? About the payment of loan by the IPO project, how much is the financial expense a company save on a monthly or quarterly? Why is it relevant to use the IPO project to pay loan rather than using the proceeds for more growth? So magkano kinita you will save in interest expense?
31 million for 2021. For 2021, we spent 31 million for interest. So next year, diretso na sa bottom line yon pagkabayad namin ng mga loans na yon. Then to answer your second question, why not go for more growth? Sabi nga namin, nag-planning na kami. We don't need more than the internally generated cash plus the savings on interest plus yung aming mga accounts receivables. So tamang-tama lang yung working capital. And we do not want to ask for much more than we can digest.
Okay, sige. Meron pa tayong tanong from live audience. Let's get more. Will this issuance have a stabilization fund? And how can investors be assured that the owner is not simply cashing out? Thank you from Jason. Sir, Jojo.
Wala stabilization fund ito. We believe the float is too small. May tawag na ang PNB rito parang small cap ang tawag nila. It's too small para lagyan ng stabilization fund.
How can investors be assured that the owner is not simply cashing out?
Ay, nako, ang tipid-tipid ko. Paano ba yung... Sabi ko nga, si Elon Musk nga, tsaka si, di ba, nasa 10 at 17 na lang. Yung 10 is more of to add liquidity. Ang liit ng float, kailangan dagdagan ng liquidity.
Yeah. And the growth, sir, is still very strong.
Yeah, we're November na ngayon. Alam na namin ang ending 2021 namin will be another fantastic year.
Okay.
Sales-wise.
So there are no more questions? Ano ba tayong questions? I guess that's it. Ayun, last ito. How change ready is your business and organization? Eden A. Change ready is your business. I think this has something to do with innovation.
IPO.
Hindi, yung inyong business. How are you coping with changes in technology and in the things that you do?
Well, those are products. Guided kami ng principals. Lagi kami may webinars. Lagi kami we're updated with the latest Siemens technology and variant technology. Yung B. Brown, lagi sa amin nagte-train yan. Hindi kami pinapabayaan kasi we represent them sa pagbenta eh. So, lagi kami nakaka-adapt on new technology. No? Ito namang sa organization, ayan, pagka-presidente ni Pat, oras na ng millennials ngayon. Yun ang message niyan. Ako na lang magkikwento ng mga ganito noon eh. Yung ganun.
And I think because our nature is a distributor, dapat lagi kaming flexible to changes. Kasi anytime naman we can get new principles or go enter a different category when we see that the strategies are fit with ours. So, handa kami dyan. Lagi kaming naghahanap ng bago, nagsa-study or yung mga ganon.
Great. So galing na conversation natin, sir. With that, I'd like to thank you, sir. Maybe as a last question sa'yo, my personal question. Marami tayong nanonood ngayon. We have more than 400 people that's listening to you. Meron ba kayong advice for 2022 for may mga businessmen din dito na nakikinig?
Una muna yung sa health. Health is wealth. Lagi yung naririnig yan di ba? So, sabi nga, ngayon nga dahil sa pandemic, yung ordinaryong Pilipino, naririnigan mo na ng mga salitang remdesivir, ng second dose, booster shots. Dati hindi mo naririnig yan. Mga supermarket items ang nadidinig mo, energy, whatever. No? So, yung consciousness sa health, no? Huwag niyong kakalimutan yan. So, importante, individually. No? And you should be thankful that we have the best doctors. One of the best doctors sa buong mundo. No? Can you imagine, napapagaling tayo, kulang ang mga equipment nila. What more pag pinaikutan mo ng mga modern equipment yung mga yan. Ano? Talagang the best, one of the best ang mga Filipino doctors. I am in, yung mga sinasabi halos lahat ng kandidato, focus on healthcare. Saludo ako dyan. Yun talaga dapat I mean, it's not only here, it's the whole world. No? Dapat focus on healthcare. Mali sana si Bill Gates pero pinaghahandaan niya tayo sa second pandemic animal siya. Hindi pa nga dumarating yung normal, pinaghahanda na tayo. Pero kung malas naman at dumating yon, at least ready tayo. We should take this time. Yung budget, doon natin dalhin, di ba? Hindi dahil nandun ang negosyo ng Medilines. Kailangan talaga natin yan. Yan ang on the personal side. On the business side, ito na ba yung sharing, no? Kaninang umaga, Marvin, kausap ko yung kapatid ko, no? Si Kuya Manny. Dalawa lang kami brothers. No? Barkada kami noon. Kami lang yung parehong university na pinuntahan sa siyam na magkakapatid. No? So, kami dalawa brothers. Madalas kami magkape, nagiinuman kami ng latte. So, yan, kwento. Mahilig si Kuya sa when opportunity knocks. Sinasabi niya lagi yun Diyan nakikita yung mayaman sa hindi. Yung sigurista na teka muna, teka muna. Yun yung naiiwan, sabi niya. Yun namang risk taker, no? yun yung yumayaman. Pero meron ding hindi yumayaman, yung hindi pinag-aralan yung pinapasukan, ano. So, tatanggalin ko na yung yung sigurista, parang hindi appealing sa kanya yun. Dito tayo. Ito na, opportunity is knocking. This is another IPO. Nadinig nyo naman kami ng ipat pag nakapag-aral rin kayo tungkol sa Medilines kahit paano, no? So, ang tanong, kung talagang maganda itong negosyong ito, papasok ba yung kuya mo? Yun siguro dapat ang tanong mo, Marvin, ano? Well, nag-usap kami kanina. Papasok nga siya, alam mo kung bakit, nakaamoy daw siya ng opportunity. Pag nakaamoy ng opportunity, mabilis pa sa alas 4 yun, no? Kaya lang, nakakatakot, sabi ko sa kanya, kuya, maawa ka naman sa retail investors. Baka yung order mo, yun yung boom float ko. Di ba? So, sabi ko na lang sa kanya, thank you sa confidence mo sa Medilines, kuya. Pero bahala na ang PNB kung bibigyan ka ng allocation. Kasi ngayon ka lang nagsabi. Di ba? Yun lang ang masasabi ko. When opportunity knocks, pag-aralan mo mabuti, huwag ka magdili-dali, baka makalipas ba, baka dumaan. No? Yun lang. And health is wealth. Yun ang second message ko. Marvin, thank you for the opportunity na pinagsalita mo ako ng ganito. No?
Yes, thank you. With that, thank you very much, Sir Jojo Villar. Let me just close this with some few key takeaways that I've learned from this conversation. Marami tayong natutunan. Pwede na yata akong magbenta. So there you have it. No? So we have a company run by people maximizing the potentials of having the expertise because of years of experience, their relationship with their suppliers, combined with good relationship with their buyers, and now having a dominant market share. So being a Villar may have opened doors for Medic, for Jojo being the brother, could have opened doors for them. But sustaining it is not just about opening doors. We have heard that it's not just about the relationship, it is also having the expertise of a good product, long years of experience, reputable principals, and they're continuing to innovate and understanding what's the latest in the medical field. It is also about good service and execution and operating in a growing industry, serving people's needs. So investing, however, is not without absence of risk. It's not without risk. There's always risk in investing. In fact, the company relies heavily on government contracts. We cannot, it's not a secret. And they operate in a highly specialized field dealing with sizable capital with risk of changing technology. This risk, however, they have continued to manage well thus far for so many years. And I think, and we believe that they continue to manage in the future. So in considering to invest in this company, we look back and we go back to our 4 Ps. People, product, predictability, and price. As for the people, they have the expertise in their field. Their product is supplied by global leaders, leaders in the industry, in the medical field. And in terms of predictability, we have heard that the healthcare is really a very underpenetrated market and it's growing very fast with budgets increasing, not just in the Philippines, but globally. So as for the price, the fourth, I guess the question is really, do their growth prospects justify the price? Analysts have given their valuation this company and they look at it on the higher level, a higher PE. But does the growth now justify the price? Only time will tell. But the prospects that we have heard today, that we have discussed today, is looking good so far. So there you have it. I hope we have given you insights about the company. And we would like to thank again the senior management of Medilines for this opportunity. And we look forward to more conversations with them. Today's event video will be shared through our social media channels, and we will give you highlights of our research via email. And we will continue to have these conversations. So for those of you who want to be part of our invite list for future COL Conversations, sign up through bit.ly/COL Conversations events, and you will receive our invites. So once again, thank you for watching. This has been Marvin Fausto. See you in our next conversation.